Okay, now we're going to show a short video of our next guest, Taylor Larimore. Intro to Taylor. Taylor Larimore was dubbed by Money Magazine as the Dean of the Vanguard diehards, and as you heard from Mel, stealing my thunder, Jack Bogle called Taylor the king of the Bogleheads. He is a graduate of the University of Miami School of Business Administration, served in World War II as a paratrooper in the 101st Airborne Division during the Battle of the Bulge, earning 5 combat decorations. He worked, after the war, as a life insurance underwriter. He worked as a revenue officer for the Internal Revenue Service, the chief of the financial division of the Small Business Administration in South Florida, and a director of the Dade County Housing Finance Authority. In 1986, Taylor became inspired by reading about the life and teachings of Jack Bogle and adopted those teachings. He and his late wife, Pat, then watched their portfolio improve dramatically in value. And as Mel said, he calls his beautiful condo overlooking Biscayne Bay the house that Jack built, since he credits Jack Bogle and Vanguard for the investing success that he had. In 1998, Taylor made the first post on the new Vanguard Diehards forum on the Morningstar website. This became the largest forum on the Morningstar website, and then eventually moved over to its own Bogleheads.org site. However, while it was on the Morningstar website, the naysayers did start calling us Bogleheads because we were very adamant about what we believed, and they weren't as adamant, and they weren't believers. But they thought the term was derogatory, but we embraced it. And we kind of called it our badge of honor, if you will. And Taylor then became, of course, the king of the Bogleheads. Taylor, by the way, is a fiercely competitive sailor who was once named the American Sailor Association's Instructor of the Year. And this video that you just saw was played while he celebrated his 98th birthday this year. And he told me he is definitely going to be around until 100. He told me that. So we're going to get him on another screen. To just take a second to flip it over, and we'll get Taylor here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Taylor Larimore. So you can see everyone. One more time. Give it up for Taylor Larimore. Hey! All right. Taylor, it's a real honor and pleasure to have you with us tonight. And we got a little surprise for you, okay? So I'm going to bring up to the stage now Andrew Bogle. Andrew, as you know, is Jack's son, and Andrew has some words for you. So here you go, Andrew.
Thank you. How you doing, Taylor? Oh, okay. Good. So, Taylor, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the Bogleheads Hall of Fame. While Taylor has been, as you've heard, one of the founders of the Vanguard diehards and then the Bogleheads, what impresses me most is that Taylor is a lifelong teacher and lives a life embodying my dad's deeply held belief to serve honest to God, down-to-earth human beings who have their own hopes, fears, and financial goals. Taylor has likely assisted hundreds of thousands of people and 2 generations through his advice, guidance, online posts, and books. You could argue that Taylor was essentially a founding crew member in Vanguard's personal advisor services, and he did it in a way that always respected the human values of the investors and prospective investors, and he did it for no fee. As my dad has quoted Helen Keller so wisely wrote, "The world has moved along not only by the mighty shoves of its heroes, but also by the aggregate of the tiny pushes of each honest worker." As my dad said in his speech, the main thing that I've tried to do was to create a working environment based on integrity, service, and ethical values. A place where each of us, after Lincoln said, are touched by the better angels of our nature. That was his inaugural address in 1861. And as you have heard, Taylor has been deemed the king of the Bogleheads, and I would like to add one other title for Taylor, and that is the angel of investors. Thank you, Taylor.
I know my voice will give you a job, but about 20 years ago, I lost my voice to cancer. And my second job was public speaking, so we'll both have to put up with me tonight. But I'm so thrilled to meet one of Jack's sons. I'm blessed with a wonderful son here beside me tonight. But your dad just changed my life. I'll give you one example. One time I was having dinner at his house. Your mother was in the cooking in the kitchen. Jack and I were in the patio just outside, and I used a profanity. Well, you already know the answer. Your dad said, please, my wife may be listening, and I've never used a profanity ever since.
Well, Taylor, welcome as the first person in the new Bogleheads Hall of Fame. Congratulations. You are just like the Boglehead #1. You are now the first inductee into the Bogleheads Hall of Fame. So.
We all make mistakes.
I don't think so. Not this time. No, well deserved. So we're going to turn you around so you can see everyone as we give you a big round of applause and a standing ovation. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, Taylor, it's been great seeing you. We'll see you again next year.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah, we'll see you next year. You're going to live till 100. That's what the last thing you said to me a couple of weeks ago was you're going to live to 100. So,
Well, I remember on my, I think it was 90th birthday, you flew into Miami to wish me well, and it did work.
Well, I'm not coming back till 100, so you got to live till 100. Okay, we're going to sign off now. Great seeing you. You look great, and best to you and your family. So take care, Taylor. Bye-bye.